16 of the fantasy basketball season. And here's a few forwards I would drop this week. The first guy, Nickeil Alexander-Walker of the New Orleans Pelicans. So Alexander Walker, he's had some big games, and then he's had games where he just disappears and he hasn't done much, and his minutes have gone down over the last few games here. So on the season for Alexander Walker, 13 points a game, 3.3 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 1.9 threes, and 37% from the field here. In the last couple weeks, the numbers have been pretty much the same. 13.3 points a game, 3.2 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 1.3 threes a game, but an awful 38% from the field. So right now, he's been dropped in 4% of fantasy leagues, and he's been up and down and inconsistent this season here is Alexander Walker. January 28th versus Denver, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, 2 threes, 35% from the field. January 29th versus Boston, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, a 3, 22% from the field. And January 31st at Cleveland, 8 points, 2 boards, 5 assists, a steal, and 44% from the field. So right now, that's not great numbers, and that's not a lot of production. And the last 2 games here, he played 22 minutes and then 19 minutes. So his minutes have gone down, his field goal has gone down, and the scoring's gone down. Because if he's not scoring the basketball, he really don't give fantasy owners that many categories. So right now, while he's in a slump, I think you could get away from Alexander Walker. And if he picks things up, then you go back to him and pick him up. The next forward, Jonathan Kuminga of the Golden State Warriors. So Kuminga, I've mentioned him as a big pickup, but then last week I said to drop him. And right now, the Warriors, they're just not playing Kuminga enough now. He's only playing 10, 15 minutes a game over the last few weeks. On the season for Kuminga, 6.5 points a game, 2.5 rebounds, and 47% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, 7 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 42% from the field. So his playing time's gone down, the production has gone down, and his ownage has gone down a lot as well over the last few weeks. So the last few games here for Kuminga, January 27th versus Minnesota, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 40% from the field. January 29th versus the Nets, 2 points, 4 boards, an assist, 14% from the field. And January 31st at Houston last night, 3 points, 2 rebounds, a steal, and 33% from the field. So obviously that's not getting the job done, and he's an easy drop this week. It was good to see him go on a few-week run where he had good fantasy value and was a contributor for this Warrior team. But right now, it's not in the cards for him. And maybe later in the year, he'll get back in the rotation with a bigger role and have value. And the third and final forward I look to drop this week's Brandon Clarke of the Memphis Grizzlies. So Brandon Clarke, another guy I've mentioned, is a pickup and then a drop. So on the season, 9.9 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.1 blocks, and 65% from the field. So his field goal percentage is very good this season here. But obviously, he's just an inside and a putback athletic forward here is Brandon Clarke. The last few weeks for him, 10.7 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 1.3 blocks, and 66% from the field. But right now, he's just not doing that big of numbers as Clarke. I know we've seen some flashes of big games here and there for him, but the last couple games here, his numbers have dropped. And the playing time as well for him hasn't been great. 15, 20 minutes a game for Clarke. January 28th versus Utah, 22 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 75% from the field. January 29th versus Washington, 10 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, a block, 62% from the field. And January 31st at Philly, 4 points, 2 rebounds, a steal, a block, and 66% from the field. So he's not doing much of anything right now to hold on your roster, and I would drop him this week. So that's a few forwards I would drop here for Week 16 of the fantasy basketball season.